Welcome to AI Sports Predictor, where stats meet suspense, and I'm your host, Natas, the British maestro of reason. Settle in, my dear betting connoisseurs, because tonight, Virginia Cavaliers and Pitt Panthers clash in a game that's dripping with tension. Like tea on fine china. The Virginia Cavaliers. A squad that's been a bit like an old Rolls-Royce lately, classic. But coughing on the motorway. 10-12 on the season, 1-5 on the road, and yet, every time you think they've sputtered out, they rev their engines just enough to make you think twice. Offensively, they're averaging 63.3 points per game, ranking 360th in the nation. Ouch. That's not a scoring slump, that's a scoring crisis. But defensively, they're keeping things respectable, allowing just 65.2 points per game, 32nd best nationally. If you're betting on them, it's not because you expect fireworks, it's because you're hoping they can survive the trenches. Now, let's talk Pitt Panthers. The roaring beast of the Peterson Events Center, currently 14-7 and sitting 8th in the ACC. Offensively, they've got something Virginia can only dream of, 79.6 points per game, 65th in the nation. They shoot 46.8% from the field and an astonishing 79.7% from the free throw line. That's 6th best in the country, my friends. Jalen Lowe, averaging 17.4 points, 5.6 assists, and Ishmael Leggett adding 16.5 points and nearly 6 rebounds. Make this squad lethal in transition. But it's not all sunshine and glory. Pitt's defense allows 70.9 points per game. They've let teams hang around too long in close contests, like the heartbreaker against Wake Forest. What does that mean for tonight? It means we're looking at a chess match between a Virginia team trying to smother Pitt's attack and a Pitt team that knows if they light the scoreboard up, Virginia can't keep up. Head-to-head, Virginia's got the historical edge at 8-2 in their last 10 meetings, but Pitt's been sneaky, covering the spread in 4 of their last 5. And here's the kicker. The over has hit in 6 straight meetings between these two. That's not a trend. That's a neon sign screaming, bet the points. So, what's the final twist, you ask? It's simple. Pitt's dominant at home, 10-2 on their court, and they've won their last 14 night games here. Meanwhile, Virginia's limping onto enemy turf with just one road win all season. And today's AI pick is over 131.5 points. Don't overthink it. Both teams have been cashing overs like lottery tickets, and tonight will be no different.
North Texas Mean Green versus the UAB Blazers, a showdown where revenge, pace, and precision take center stage. UAB, sitting at 14-8, is no stranger to delivering high-octane performances, as their recent 9-6 78 dismantling of Charlotte proved. This team doesn't just score at the overwhelm. Yaxel Lendeborg leads the charge with 17.6 points per game, 10.4 rebounds, and 4.4 assists, making him a triple threat North Texas will need to watch every second. But UAB's firepower doesn't end there. With Christian Coleman and Jabari McGee chipping in, this team's offense feels like a heatwave you can't escape. On the flip side, North Texas comes in licking its wounds after a disappointing loss to UTSA that snapped a 6-game win streak. Adnan Wright might be their leading scorer, but let's be real, North Texas thrives on team defense and grinding out games. They hold teams to under 6-9 points per contest and rely on balanced scoring from guys like Brennan Lorient and Jasper Floyd. But can they stop the Blazers' offensive blitzkrieg in their own backyard? The key stat here: UAB's dominance under the lights. They've won their last 7 night games and seem to have a flair for the dramatic when it matters most. Meanwhile, North Texas has struggled on the road, showing cracks when the pressure peaks. And today's AI pick is UAB Moneyline. Sometimes revenge isn't just sweet, it's inevitable. On to Game 3.
Iowa State Cyclones versus the Kansas Jayhawks, with Big 12 Titans looking for redemption, and all eyes are on Allen Fieldhouse. Kansas, 15-6 on the year, just suffered a meltdown against Baylor, where a 19-point halftime lead slipped away like water through their fingers. But don't let that fool you. This team is dangerous at home. They've won 3-4 of their last 6 night games at this very arena, where the energy practically vibrates through the walls. Hunter Dickinson leads the charge, averaging 16.4 points and nearly 10 rebounds per game. He's the centerpiece, but the Jayhawks' real weapon is their depth. DeJuan Harris Jr. Zeke Mayeth. These guys know how to distribute, attack, and capitalize on fast break opportunities. Kansas is averaging 7-7.2 points per game while locking down opponents at just under 6-7 points. They've got the pieces to dominate, but can they close when it matters most? Now let's talk Iowa State. 17-4 on the year, but suddenly wobbling after back-to-back losses, including a shocking defeat to Kansas State. Curtis Jones and Keshawn Gilbert are averaging over 15 points per game, but they're going to need more than individual brilliance to get past Kansas at home. Iowa State's biggest weakness: road games. They've lost the first half in their last 4 conference road games, and Allen Fieldhouse isn't exactly the place to break that trend. The betting facts: Kansas dominates night games, Iowa State stumbles against AP-ranked opponents, and when the lights are bright, it's the Jayhawks who thrive. And today's ad pick is Kansas Moneyline. There's too much history, home court magic, and offensive firepower to ignore. Now let's recap the night's action. Virginia vs. Pitt over 131.5. North Texas vs. UB Moneyline. Iowa State vs. Kansas Moneyline. If you enjoyed tonight's picks, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more from AI Sports Predictor. We're here to turn insight into wins.
Before we wrap up tonight, let's talk about something just as important as the picks themselves: bankroll management. I'm Malachi, and if you know me, you know I'm not here to sugarcoat it. Betting without discipline is like driving blindfolded. You might think you're in control until you crash into reality. Rule 1, my friends: never bet more than you're willing to lose. Your bankroll is your lifeline, not a one-way ticket to greed. If you're dipping into rent money or gas money, you're already playing the sportsbook's game, and trust me, the house loves a reckless gambler. Set a unit size and stick to it. Whether you're betting $10 a game or $1,000, make sure that unit fits your budget. If tonight's picks go south, you're not chasing losses tomorrow, you're strategizing. Chasing losses is how they hook you, and trust me, they've built palaces off people who couldn't control themselves. And lastly, know when to walk away. No one ever got rich in one night, and those who tried usually ended up in the hole. Success comes from patience, discipline, and playing the long game. So, if you're serious about turning a profit, treat this like an investment, not a quick thrill. Be smart, be steady, and most importantly, don't let the sportsbook see you sweat. Like and subscribe if you found value in tonight's episode, and remember, AI Sports Predictor is here to help you bet smarter, not harder.